just recently played in the Stage 2 event for the Call of Duty Mobile World Championship Series, and we ended up winning 30-0, which means we did not lose a single match, and we did end up getting #1. As you guys can see in that picture right there, it does say #1. But in this team, it involved me, Marshy, Bolu, Tech, Slothy, who just recently joined back, and we also had Jez. Now, the reason why I want to make this video is because you guys have also been asking for an updated reveal on my brand new sensitivities, settings, and class setups. So I decided to mix in both of those gameplay ideas and bring this to you guys. So I hope you guys do enjoy. Leave a like, leave a comment, make sure you drop that sub, and let's get on with the action. Alright, so first things first, we are going to be going over the custom thing right here. Now, as you guys can see, there are two selections. There's ADS and there's hipfire. Basically, ADS allows you to shoot and aim at the same time with the click of one button. But hipfire basically allows you to do it manually, which means you have to aim and shoot separately in order to actually get the weapon to shoot. Now, me personally, I do recommend using hipfire for every single section, but that is just my personal preference. The only problem is that you guys can't really do the slide cancel thing that people like doing as easily compared to using it with ADS. Alright guys, so here is my HUD that I currently use for my device. I do use a Red Magic 6S, so just keep that in mind. Now, it might seem like a lot, and that is because it is. I actually do use a 4-finger claw, which means I use my index fingers and my thumbs for both my left and right hands. Now, if you guys are still confused, here on the screen is going to be a screenshot of what is what. Now, LI, which is the yellow, is left index finger. LT is the green, which is left thumb. RI, which is the red, is right index finger, and the blue one, which is at the bottom right, is a right thumb. Now, judging by that picture, you guys can find out what I use. For my right index finger, I use the jump, crouch, and shoot button, and even the scoreboard, whatever, sometimes depending on how far it is. From right thumb, I use the operator skill, the reload button, the grenade button, and the weapon switch, I'm pretty sure as well, based on the SS. For my left index finger, I use a shoot button, sometimes the scoreboard too, the chat button, the displacing nade thing, it doesn't really matter. And then for my left thumb, I use the move pad, the plant bomb, my score streaks, etc. And here we are with the basics. Now, I'm not going to be going over them too much based on how they are, because you guys can just take a screenshot and do whatever you guys would like. But here it is. I use everything that is here. The things that I am going to be going on about is the damage number. Basically, when you do shoot someone, it basically shows you how much you hit them for and where they're shooting from. It's really good, especially when you're doing nade spots and you hit marker someone with a nade. It basically gives you info, and that info is enough to basically wallbang someone, if that makes sense. And then as I go down, I do have always sprint at 80, which means the more I push with my movement pad, the faster or the short amount of distance I need to push in order to auto sprint. This is personal preference. You guys don't have to copy me for that. It is probably a bad explanation, but hope you guys do understand. Oh, can you guys stop inviting me? And then for my camera FOV, I do actually have 76. I no longer use 78 or 80. Basically, the higher FOV, the more you see, but for the long distances, the people would show up as smaller, which I wouldn't really recommend. And then the lower your FOV, the smaller the distance is, but the easier the opponents come, you know, because they obviously come up as bigger like bodies and hitboxes, if that makes sense. And then obviously for my FOV FPP, that basically just showcases how big your gun is when you're just looking at it, or when you ADS. That is kind of a game changer, but not really. I would personally say the camera FOV is much more important than the actual FOV PFP or FPP, sorry. And the marker settings and minimap settings, you guys don't really have to worry about that. That is personal preference, and I obviously don't play BR, so I'm not going to be going over that. And then going over to graphics, I do use Ultra so I can get the 90, 120 FPS gameplay for you guys, and that is basically what everyone uses in comp. Medium graphics, because that's the max you can use. If you guys go to like let's say very high and you go back to Ultra, the most you can do is medium graphics. And then for BR mode graphics, I wouldn't really care about that, because obviously I don't use BR, or I don't play BR, but it is standard, and everything else is not really important. And then when we go to audio, this is my audio. You guys seem to care a lot about audio, so I guess here it is. And then for effects, we do have the tactical effect and pink. The reason why I chose a color that's really bright is because it's actually seen easily, and it kind of gives me a direction of where I'm shooting them from, and it's pretty visible since it's a bright color. And obviously get hit hint is green, since that is also another color that is very eye-catching and very visible to me. And then right about now we are going to be going over the sensitivity. So I actually do use a speed acceleration, which means the faster I swipe my finger, the faster the sensitivity goes. I obviously use the custom presets, since obviously my sense is like random, but I use 69, 48, 48, 63, and 40. Yes, my sniper scope is sensitivity. Yes, my sensitivity in general is slow, but that is because I have these things called finger sleeve. It basically makes the friction between the screen to my finger very smooth, which means it doesn't really matter if I have high or low sensitivity. And then for my tactical scope sensitivity, I wouldn't really recommend copying that because I don't really play around with those, and those are mainly just random. And then for firing sensitivity, I do have 40, 47, 47, 50, 40, and everything else for the 3 times, 4 times, 6 times, and 8 times. I wouldn't really copy because obviously they're not really that accurate. And then gyro I don't really use, so I just played around and said like put some random stuff. Alright guys, so for the loadout section, I do have 10 loadouts, but the only loadouts I'm going to be telling you guys are the ones that I actually use. So coming up at number 1, we do have the Type 25. Now this build right here is the one that I use. Now it is quite different. The Type 25 isn't really used as much nowadays, but I still think it is a viable weapon. I might have a video coming up soon with this weapon, but I use the Molotov Suppressor, the MIP Extended Light Barrel, the RTC Steady Stock, the OWC Laser Tactical, and obviously I do use the 42 round fast reload, especially since the stopping power reload got nerfed, which doesn't really make it as usable compared to the others. The second weapon that I actually do use is actually the Kilo 141. Now this one right here, I actually have made some changes. The main change is that I did change the muzzle from mono to tactical suppressor, which basically allows me to have a faster ADS time. Now this is an actual weapon that is meta currently, and the weapons or the attachments that I use for this is obviously the tactical suppressor, the no stock, OWC tactical, the extended mag A, and the granular grip tape. I would recommend using this AR out of any other ARs, and mainly because this is definitely one of the top ARs to use in any single range. And then the third weapon that I actually use for this current season is obviously the CBR4. Now I am also in love with this SMG. There's also another SMG, but you guys will find out what that is soon. But for this, I use the tactical suppressor, the OWC marksman, YCAM light stock, OWC tactical, and the granular grip tape. But if you guys are looking for more so ADS and movement, you guys can replace the OWC marksman with the MIP extended light barrel, but that is a personal preference kind of thing. And then up on number 4, we do have the M13, which I haven't been using as much this season, but if you guys do prefer a weapon that is really good in terms of fire rate, can spray and pray, and have a good load of movement, this is the weapon for you. It is the RTC silencer barrel, the RTC assault tactical, the OWC tactical, the .300 RTC double stack 40 round, and the granular grip tape for the extra BSA for those long range gunfights. And one plus thing with this weapon is that you guys can actually replace the 40 round for a 60 mag to make it even better when it comes to pre-firing your weapon. Now the last and final weapon that I recommend for you guys is the Mac 10. Now for this, I'm an absolute fan of this weapon. I still think I'm a bigger fan of the MX9 when it comes to SMGs, but the Mac 10 is up there on that list. Now for this, I do use the agency suppressor, the 6.5 rifling barrel, the steel stock, the field agent foregrip, and last but not least, the 43 round fast reload. Anyways guys, if you guys did enjoy that video on my brand new settings and my top best loadouts to use for this current season, remember to leave a like, leave a comment, make sure to drop that sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one.